was hard fought, but how do you feel about the game today?
Look, we knew it was going to be difficult, and it was very difficult. So delighted to come away with 3 points. Boston, well organised team, disciplined. I think tactically they were set up fantastic today, which made life really difficult for us. So it was a real. When you talk about grinding out results, today was a day when we just had to grind out a result. And I'm really delighted we've done that, because this season we have rarely done that. We've had those kind of games, but usually ended up losing them 2-1. So for us, it was a good step forward to win a game that was that tight and that tough.
So Alex Morgan and Marta have kind of been on fire recently. Was this on the timeline you planned for them, or are they exceeding your expectations?
Both of them are pretty rubbish players. So for the fact of scoring goals is a bonus for us. No, there was nothing on the timeline. You hope, obviously, you go in and you hope players are going to gel, and you don't know how quickly it's going to happen, and sometimes you don't know if it's going to happen at all. But I think what we've seen over the last probably 3 games at least, we've started to see a real connection between Alex and Marta, and they're both on the same page, and when they're on the same page, we've got a really sort of lethal striking force.
Ashlyn Harris also returned from injury, and she's done pretty well considering she was out for quite a while. How do you feel about her returning in?
Fantastic. Again, she was not happy that we gave a goal in the end, as Ash is, which is fantastic. Look, it's great to have her back, but I think, we had Aubrey Bledsoe in goal during that time, and she was fantastic for us as well. But just having Ash at the back, her experience, her organisational skills, her presence, just makes that little bit of difference to us.
I think 6 games left. I think 5 games.
6,
but
maybe?
5.
How close do you look at the table, or you just take care of your own business?
I think you're always glancing at the table, but we know that we've, over the last, having won, we always talked about trying to get on a run. We've now won 3 in a row, and that's got us up in the frame for the top 4. And I think mathematically, it puts our destiny in our own hands. So with 5 games to go, that's as good a position as you can hope to be in, and we just need to keep on trying to win games. And it's difficult in this league because the gap between the top and the bottom teams is minimal. And I think if you look at last week, Kansas had lost maybe several games in a row, and they just pulled out 2 unbelievable wins. So it's such a tight league. We just need to keep looking after our business, keep going out trying to win games.
Any thoughts on the officiating tonight?
I'll let Matt talk about that.
Yeah.
There was some calls, I think, that both of us weren't quite in favour of, and I think where Boston is at the moment and where Matt is at the minute, I've been there. I was there last year, and when you're in that situation, things tend to go against you in games, and probably a couple of things happened tonight, in that regard. So it becomes very frustrating when you're on the receiving end of that.
Jasmine, was her back?
No, it was a hamstring.
Okay.
She took a knock, and then she went for another run, and I think with the knock, she felt her hamstring tighten up. So hopefully it's not too bad.
Thank you. Well, I have one last question, but it's about Australia, so you guys can
Okay,
switch
yeah.
off if you want. So we just had Tournament of Nations. Australia kind of was like, hello.
Yeah.
Team you have a pretty solid tie to. You've got some Australians on your roster as well. What do you think? Could you argue for Australia's #1 team in the world right now?
They're up amongst it. I think it's hard to say who's the number 1 right now, because there are, the game's changing, and I think the European Championship showed that as well, is that they're now a legitimate group of teams that can beat anybody on their day. And Australia's one of them. But it's been one of them for a while. They've been knocking on the door, and I think what you're seeing now is a team that's still a very young team generally, but they've got an inordinate amount of experience. And Sam Kerr's a classic, 24 next month. She played for the Matildas in 2009. She's had 8 years of experience, Asian Cups, World Cups, etc. So they're in a very, very good spot at the moment, the Aussies.
Thank you very much.